What is your assessment of what's going on? What is your worry about Coinbase?
Well, generally, I would feel as though what we were expecting through FTX was for them to be the white knight for the crypto industry, right? We wanted them to be the regulated body, at least domestically, but what Coinbase is proving that they have already seized the day when it comes to being regulated and being the trusted exchange. Overall, what I think Coinbase is in a position to do is now increase their margins on their trading revenue because they will be considered trusted across the board.
Why did venture capitalists who got into this industry early and other investors not see this coming? I thought the whole point of cryptocurrency markets and the underlying technology was transparency.
I think now the world of decentralization is moving to a world of verification.
Okay.
And that is the position that many of us in venture are looking to abide by going forward, is we all want a DeFi to be the new world of shaking up the financial industry, right? But overall, there clearly just isn't enough trust in it at all. So where we see the world going is verifying that assets, smart contracts, everything surrounding the world of crypto and blockchain becomes verifiable before it ever becomes decentralized.
Andrea, of course, yourself a merchant bank, but also a venture fund. How hard is it going to be for new areas of growth within crypto to keep on raising funds in this environment? Is everything on ice?
Overall, we're all looking to see that there's now an audit trail and true due diligence that's going to be occurring in the crypto companies going forward. There's a lot of companies building an audit. There's a lot of companies building in traditional finance where there might be exchanges, right? Companies like blockchain.com that are building strong exchanges but are building traditional finance products around the exchanges, like lending, debit cards, and credit cards, where we have a lot of faith in where the industry can go.
I want to pivot a little bit. SpaceX, Bloomberg News reporting on Tuesday, they're talking with investors, early stage, could be a primary, could be a tender, but the pricing puts valuation above 125 billion, perhaps at 150 billion or greater. You have some exposure to SpaceX. What's your take on that? That's lofty when it comes to valuations.
So Starlink continues to grow at a clip that's even higher than we were all expecting, which is very promising for us. We're looking out for a launch at the end of this year that I think is incredibly promising for all of us. But overall, it's always going to be an Elon premium. The cadence of fundraising for SpaceX is regularly every year. And so whether we see it be a new primary round or a tender offer in the form of secondary stock,
right,
I think generally it's keeping up the momentum following Twitter and realizing that Elon can just continue raising at that premium.
Okay, talk to us about an Elon premium, because it feels to many that actually his own brand has taken a hit here. Has it not, from your perspective, from a venture perspective?
We don't believe so. I think Elon has continued to promise that what he says is deliverable, and what we can rely on is that for him to grow multiple business lines across different industries is something that he's succeeded at time and time again. So we continue to have faith in Elon's ability to execute. I think generally when it comes to SpaceX, there's a lot that could go wrong, but overall what we learned through Starlink and everything related to the launches to date is that there's learnings that Elon takes away to build the next best rocket and the best missile launch.
Yeah.
So with that going forward, we have a lot of faith in his ability to foresee that premium.
What about his management style, the way in which he treats people, the layoffs that we're seeing at Twitter? Does that sit well with you?
I think generally we expect layoffs to be occurring in an environment as volatile as this one. I think generally everyone's reducing spend across the board in departments that aren't necessarily hitting, top line revenue.
But
so
the way he's doing it, Andrea.
The way he's doing it is obviously a bit unconventional, but I think that nature of Elon is something we all have grown to expect by now. So I think generally we are, obviously keeping abreast of his management style to say whether or not it's fair and good, but overall we do know it's effective. So I think generally there's a lot of takeaways from that, and every CEO that we're working with in the late stage had their own flavor of it, but Elon just comes in, as hot as ever.
Very quickly, would you like to buy into any new round that comes up?
Possibly. We have to do our diligence, but we continue to invest.